Oh, I asked you if you would like to start. You said yes, so I was waiting.
Oh,
Okay,
okay. Please go on.
fine. So last week when we spoke about how our goals, our desires come from the place of void many times, and as now we are aware that most of our desires, our choices come from the place of void when we are not really aware. Or the way one of you said that we avoid the void. So that's the whole concept of void, that there is a feeling in that void which we want to avoid. It is too painful for us to connect to that feeling, to feel that pain, and that is the reason we start avoiding it. And then we start thinking that we can fill it with different desires. So if a particular person is there in my life, I'll feel a certain way, so then I will not feel lonely. If I get enough money, then I will feel respected, or then I will feel more successful. And there are many such voids, right? So when we are talking about this conscious reflection for creation, we want to we want to state one thing very clearly, that we are not against having desires. That's not what we are saying. But if we become aware that most of our desires are coming from void or any unhealthy context, then how to make that uh, awareness work for us and take the context from void to getting the creation from our inner core voice. So, in that, we may still choose to continue to work on the same desire, right? But now the context is not going to be the same. Or once we work on a void, some desires may just drop out. We may not feel the need for those desires. So, why do we avoid? Because the experience in it, the pain in it, is too much to handle, is too much to feel. And whenever we experience a traumatic event, and in that we experience a certain pain, it is as though the conscious mind feels that this is about now survival. And the survival mechanism of the mind is bound to find a coping so that it does not have to feel the pain. And that is very necessary for the sole purpose of survival. But in the bargain, we start losing our resources, we start losing our internal joy or peace or happiness, whatever we lost in that particular instant. And now this coping will make us either suppress our feeling or distract us from that feeling. And that is how we start associating that if we achieve something, then we will feel the opposite experience of that pain, which could be anything: happiness, joy, peace. And then we start getting into the cycle of achieve a goal or fulfill a desire, because we think once we have that, then we are going to feel a certain way. So I think the first awareness can come when we realize that more than that particular outcome, we are actually looking for that happy experience in it, which we have associated with the outcome. But if we separate that, we can come to a realization that I'm looking for this experience, right? So, should I focus on the experience or should I focus on outcome in order to have that experience? Once we start asking this particular question, We start noticing the grip of the desire, then we know how much deep is the void. So I think that is the first step. Right, Priya? You want to add anything?
Mm, Actually, this concept is something that we spoke of last time also, but we are speaking more in detail. And like we came to the discussion last time that a void is not wrong. So let's get this very clear. A void is or the mind's coping mechanism is very, very useful for us, else we would crash at that moment because the pain is so much. So the intention, like Gayatri said, is not to bypass the void or term the coping as wrong, but to accept and analyze that we should not be avoiding a void because then the creation will be from a healthier place. So maybe I just wanted to give an example, a daily life example uh, where we sometimes come across in our sessions. For example, if there is a person who has been lonely for a very long time, like even before this started, we were talking that even marriage could be coming out of a void. So, carrying on with that, if I have to give an example, so if there's a person who has been feeling loneliness for a very long time and feels that, oh, if I get a partner or if I have a family of my own, then I will not be as lonely, maybe because I will have people around me who will love me, or I'll have something to do and I will have a sense of purpose, and this loneliness will not be there. Now, if this person gets married, then has a family of his or her own, and then the children grow up, she invests a lot of time into nurturing her family, and when there is a time when everyone has the life of their own, the children have grown and gone, and the loneliness starts coming back again, because the basis on which this entire thing was built will come back to that. So does that mean that so many years of whatever she has worked towards is wrong? No, she has learned certain skills, she has learned certain things, she has grown through life in a particular way, and that has helped, right? Now, if suppose this person walks into therapy or understands that, you know what, the purpose for which I created all of this, I have come back to that. I'm again feeling lonely. Then, when the loneliness is looked at, there is surely a resource behind it, which can be identified and got. So now it is a win-win. Whatever she has, acquired in so many years, that is anyhow there with her as an experience. Her desire to have a happy family and not be lonely is can also be created, and the resource behind that loneliness can also come. So, has this journey been wrong? No. Is it right? Did it serve her? Maybe yes. Now, at what point in time does it hit that person and they want to address the void is very unique to their journey. So why I'm sharing this is there could be certain voids that maybe today, like we shared, you don't want to give it up. It is very painful for you to see, and you feel that no, I want this desire. Maybe it's from a unhealthy place, but I want it for now, and I don't know how to let go of that now. Even just being aware of it will bring you closer to a point where you can deal with it. So the point is not of collapsing this journey or, you know, saying that it is wrong. No, there are certain resources, there are certain strengths that you might have got through this journey through void also. But the day the awareness kicks in, it's a stronger resource that you will get. And also, there are sometimes that we have questions where they say, oh, if I collapse the void, then will I collapse this entire desire only? Or will I collapse this entire journey only, or the people who are involved in that? No, that that may happen, that may not happen. But eventually, whatever is appropriate will start getting created, and then it will also be a matter of choice, which is the most important thing in anyone's journey. So these are the few things about void, which like we don't want to throw it in a negative light. That's not the intention at all. The intention is how can we make it stronger and healthier so that we understand and analyze and look at the emotions and feel them at that level, which was painful at some point in time. Yeah. Maybe this journey has also given you the strength to look at your void. So if you're not able to look at any void today, it's okay. It's fine. Maybe still you have not gathered your, your inner strength to look at it. It's fine. So uh, we just want to share that this is the journey of void. Like void look, void is present like this in our lives, and how we can balance it and move through life in a much more healthier manner to our goals. Yeah, Gayatri.
Yeah. I also want to add one thing over here, that when we have not looked at our own void, that void will keep on growing, and eventually it will start impacting our family, our health. If we increase the mind power to, certain people work on manifestations. So if we keep doing that and not let the void create impact on body or relationships or situation, so to say, then eventually it will start going to people around us, because it is energy, and they will start facing issues which you cannot control, because you cannot control their mind. That is also not appropriate, because they have their free choice. And then eventually it will go to the next generation. So that is how, uh, when a person walks in and they are saying that their child needs therapy or healing, for example, but the child doesn't want to come, then they need to work on their issue. How does a mother feel looking at her child going through something? And from there, the void will start getting healed. And the beauty of looking at void is, if you start working on your void, it will start shrinking, 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 and there comes a point that this energy of creation will impact people in your life. What they do with that energy, how much do they take it, work on it, is their personal journey, their personal choice. But that is how, it goes. Like a feedback that we shared 2 3 days back in the group. If this person is just coming and looking at their pattern, and a sibling in the family who has never come for any of our sessions is getting better. So that energy will impact eventually. So that's the beauty of looking at void. So I think one of the indications that you can look for is which emotional aspects you see in people around you and you are not able to do anything about it, and that impacts you. Maybe you feel helpless, you feel angry, or maybe you feel extremely sad. So then you will be able to find a key to look at your own. And as Priya said, once you look at the void, that journey itself is a that one step is a very courageous step, because looking at our unhappy parts or unpleasant parts is never a very pleasant experience. So one step at a time, at your own pace. So that's what we are inviting. So after this, we want to take you through a guided process for you to distinguish uh, whether you are coming from void or not coming from void in a particular desire or goal. So that's it for today from our end. Yes, Priya?
Yes, we will do the guided process for
Okay.
people.
So before we start the guided process, I'm stopping the recording.